the 2019 Coyote Works Open Invitation Annual Overland Trip. Good morning, guys. Casey here with the Coyote Works channel. Well, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm headed out to Brothers, Oregon to meet up with a couple of guys who are going to come out to follow me along on a camping trip. So every year I do this open invitation trip, or at least this is the second year that I've done it, and I really enjoy meeting all the guys that come from all these different areas that enjoy doing the same thing. The only downside to it is I never really know how many people are going to be there, so it'll be really interesting to roll into Brothers this morning and see who shows up. There could be 20 people or there could be 100 rigs show up, so follow me along, guys, and let's see how the weekend unfolds. All right, I'm just about a quarter of a mile out from Brothers. It's 9:25 right now, and I gave a meeting time of 11, so it'll be interesting to pull into Brothers and see if there's anybody there yet, and if so, how many people are there early. All right, well, I just landed in Brothers, and it looks like there's somewhere in the ballpark of maybe 30 rigs are here, and we're still about a half hour before the meeting time. So I got my buddy Ston along with Wander Industries, and he's kind of jumped in and started organizing all this stuff because it looks like a little bit of mayhem to me. We're going to have a few rigs here. We're a good 30-40 already, and it's just after 10, so I think we have a lot more to expect. Ston's my buddy, and he's got a guide business around here going, so I do some trips with him from time to time. So any of you guys that are interested in coming out and experiencing a overland trip out here in Central Oregon, hit me up or hit up Wander Industries and we can set you up on a guided trip.
Check out Wander Industries, wanderindustries.com, and book a trip. Come out and hang out with Coyote Works.
So for the next couple hours, it was a steady stream of rigs flowing into Brothers for the trip. Somewhere around an hour in, we surpassed 50 vehicles in Brothers. At that point, I had to make a call. The Friday night campsite just wasn't going to work. My original plan had been to camp one place Friday night and then move to a second location for Saturday night. But with that many vehicles, that Friday night campsite just wasn't going to work. So I went to plan B, which was we would travel straight to the Saturday night campsite and we would just spend both nights there. I had set the departure time for leaving Brothers at noon sharp. But by the time we got close to noon, there were so many vehicles there and so many people that there was really no way for me to give any kind of a communication that we were rolling out. So I told a few people and let them spread the word through the group, and at noon, I got in my Jeep and hit the highway. We would drive about an hour down the highway before we turned off the pavement. So I do have a new piece of gear I'm testing out on this trip. I've got the Blackfire portable power station. Pretty excited about that because I'm going to be doing a lot of filming on this trip. So I have a gimbal, a couple of cameras, a drone, GPS, a couple of tablets in here. So I've got a lot of batteries to keep charged, and I'm really hoping that this Blackfire portable power station is going to really simplify that. All right, everyone, we are off the pavement. As soon as we left the pavement, I wanted to stop the group to give everyone a chance to air down their tires, adjust their loads, and do any last vehicle checks before we hit the trails on the way into the campsite. To give you an idea of how long the convoy was at this point, I had to pull off the pavement 1.8 miles to leave enough room for the whole line of vehicles to be able to pull off of the pavement and stop in a lineup.
Yeah.
Matt, Tyler, say hi to everyone.
Hey guys.
Hi everyone.
We're gonna have a rocking day. Look at all these rigs.
All right, we stopped to air down. We've got rigs as far as we can see, and Nate made it.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I'm glad I came out to this.
Yep. And you've got a couple of YouTube channels.
Yeah, I got 2 YouTube channels. Nate Zoinks is one of them, and the Outback, Oregon Outback is the second one. Check them out. Hopefully growing those channels and adding more content.
Well, it's awesome to have a few guys like you along that are willing to kind of jump in and help organize. And
happy to.
Definitely, we think we're somewhere in the ballpark of probably north of 100 vehicles.
I would say 100 is a safe bet. Based off of how many were at the Brothers stage stop there.
So while everyone else was airing up their tires and checking their rigs, I had to rally some help and make a quick plan for how we were going to organize that many people when we got to the campsite. But what's going to happen is we're going to come down a canyon, and then the valley's going to open up. There's going to be a big meadow in the bottom, right? So what I'm thinking is I'll hold the line right here and let you guys get set up. And what I'm thinking is put one row of camps along this side and one row of camps along this side. So this row of rigs, you'll back up kind of to the edge of that marshy area, and this row of rigs will stay up here. And you'll just have to go as far back as you think you'll need to go to get everybody, you know, to allow enough room for everyone.
I think, can't we? I'll talk to every single vehicle that comes out. If Don, if you could go down to that right side at the very end, and Matt, if you can go down to the very end on the left side, okay. We'll just stack them, boom, 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 boom.
Sounds good.
All the way down there.
Cool, sounds good.
Come on. Boom. All right, let's do this.
So a few minutes later, we were back on the trail headed towards the campsite with a solid plan for how we were going to organize things once we got there. Rolling down the trail, our convoy was about 2.5 to 3 miles long. One of the problems that presented was I didn't have good radio communication from my position leading the convoy to the rearmost vehicle in the convoy. But with so many competent, experienced people along, it took us no time at all to get a plan in place to deal with the communication issue. Frogman, this is Coyote Works. Do you copy? Frogman, this is Coyote Works. Do you copy?
Hey Mike, do you have a clear copy on me? Yeah, this is Mike. Yeah, I can hear you, Austin. I can hear Coyote, I just cannot hear from the back. Okay, copy that. We might want to try relaying a message back to see if everybody made that right turn. Yeah, 10-4. Back to back, this is Mike D. Casey, this is Robert.
I copy. Ultimately, we only had one small hiccup along the trail, and it wasn't long before we arrived at the campsite.
Yeah, good luck. I'll see you guys later.
Well, you can't turn back now, right? You couldn't get out of here if you wanted to. Back now.
Yeah, I guess not. As long as we're on the right path now, right?
Right, we are. Hi, man. Awesome, awesome. How was the trip?
I got that fire extinguisher for you.
Okay.
Thanks, Casey.
Yep. No problem, man. With Tyler, Ston, Matt, and Dawn all helping out to get everyone situated, it only took us about an hour to get everybody settled into their camp spots. For me, from the moment we arrived in campsite, it all just became a whirlwind of activity. I just went from person to person, vehicle to vehicle, answering questions, meeting cool people, checking out cool rigs, and just soaking in the whole experience. It was such an awesome feeling to finally get to meet so many of these people that I'd just been interacting with through my YouTube channel for so long. And then, in no time at all, it was time to start gathering around the community fire for the potluck and raffle.
So, Coyote Works, what do you think of this shindig? Is this smaller than you had anticipated?
It's close to twice the size that I anticipated.
How are you feeling right now?
Actually, it's been really enjoyable to meet everyone. I'm glad we're all settled in camp now. It was a little nerve-wracking on the drive out here, but It's all's good now. Everybody seems to be enjoying themselves, and that's the most important thing to me.
We don't want to dance.
You guys know Tristan as the beast who moved the trees out of the road in the last video.
Okay,
The man, the myth.
I'm Tristan from Forbidden Off-Road. I do a lot of work with Lola Overland. Josh couldn't be here. He's on a vacation in Hawaii with his wife. Loser. Okay. But we really appreciate you coming on board with us, and we love to support you.
You guys have been awesome.
We love what you do. I speak for Lola Overland today, okay? And I have something I want to present to you from Forbidden Off-Road and Lola Overland combined. This is for you. Can everybody see me okay?
No.
Unfortunately. All right. This is for Casey.
Thank you.
Oh man, I
hold on.
another towel.
I didn't have the box for it. Hold on, I have to do this right.
It's all swaddled up.
Need a bigger one.
It's got a metal log. So finally, I wanted to tell you guys, we have a whole bunch of people that contributed these raffle prizes, and we'll kind of talk about them as we go through them. But Amanda and I did a rough count back there, and we got basically pulled out enough to cover our costs in this trip. So the final raffle prize is going to be the balance of the cash over and above that. So the final raffle prize, somebody here will go home. So cool. Looks like a pretty cool backpack. Another thing in my favorite color. We have 386. That's 386.
Oh, that's cool.
My idea behind adding the raffle this year was just to have a mechanism for gathering everybody that came on the trip all together around one fire one night. Thanks to the generosity of some great companies like Free Spirit Recreation, Lolo Overland, Warren Industries, and Prepper Up in Prineville, Oregon, along with that of many individuals that contributed prizes, the raffle ended up being a lot of fun. And after the raffle was over, we all started to gather around the campfire.
This is my job, and it's my labor, and this right here is the fruits of my labor.
Awesome.
People come around and do this. This is what it's all about. Everything happens around the campfire. Conversation. Everything happens around the campfire.
A lot of the magic of the trip for me is to get to just sit back and watch all the people that connect and become friends. As I hung back in the shadows hanging out around the campfire, I was struck by just what an amazing group of people it was as I heard some of the stories that they chose to share about.
Being with a group of people like you guys, where we have similar interests, being off-road, being in the wilderness, is super cool. I'm super appreciative of all that. Just this community is super cool. So thank you for that.
There's a ton of Jeep videos and overlanding videos, and the Coyote Works one just really stood out to me as just, here's this guy going out there and just living life and going on these great adventures, and just inspired me to go buy a Jeep, which I did. And so I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful, you obviously are a pretty private person, but I'm really thankful that you open your life up just a little bit to what you do and inspire me to do the same thing. It was my first trip on doing something like this, and I had no idea what to expect, but it's really impressive. And I love that there's no drama. People are just here, showing up, and having a good time. That's it. So I love it. So thankful for that.
Well, in spite of it being a great time, by about 11 p.m. it had been a long day for me, and it was time for me to wander off. And in true Coyote Works fashion, I still had to set up my camp for the night. So I slipped off to spend my first night in the Free Spirit Recreation M55 Adventure Series tri-layer rooftop tent.
Oh, good morning, guys. Well, it's about 6 a.m. or maybe 10 till 6 or so. It's a little chilly, probably around somewhere between 10 and 15 degrees this morning. Just having a little coffee, my typical coffee in a water bottle. We go out there, a little fire going, and have a little breakfast. So I have this new Blackfire power station unit.
I plugged in a couple of batteries overnight, and it's still not showing that it's down much at all. It's like at 98%, and I charged 2 camera batteries overnight. So this morning I've got my 360 view camera from Evo plugged into it, and I'm charging a couple of my camera batteries for my main camera. But I think this thing's going to be a really good add to my system. The main reason I like it is because it's really compact, and it still gives me that big charging capacity. So far I'm really liking this little unit. So I don't hear anybody moving around down there yet. Everything's pretty quiet in camp, but it's only, I don't know, maybe 6:30 or something like that. To show you guys a look at this M55 Adventure Series tri-layer tent. This is, I think, one of my favorite soft shell, non-hard shell tents. It's low profile. The size is just perfect for me. Some extra gear and enough extra room to run my heater in there. It's just a good tent to go on the top of a smaller SUV like the Jeep. I'm gonna get geared up this morning. I'm running this hybrid EDC Cobra belt from Applied Gear, and I really like this belt. The female side of the belt is small, so it's about 1.5 inch width, the same width as the belt. So it's a Cobra buckle that allows me to feed it through my belt loops, which is really handy. I don't have to undo the Velcro to adjust it like some of my other Cobra belts. So check them out, Applied Gear. They've got a whole bunch of riggers belts, this hybrid EDC belt, but really good, made in USA stuff. Very cool company, really nice people. And man, I'm just loving this belt. And then I'm running the sidecar appendix holster from T-Rex Arms. This holster, really comfortable. Got my pistol, my magazines right up front. It rides really comfortable, and it conceals amazing. Since there still weren't many people moving in the main camp, I decided to go off on one of my typical morning walks. I love walking in the mornings. Out in the desert country, the mornings and the evenings are when you're most likely to see the wildlife and the game. And as luck would have it, not too far out of camp, I ran into a nice herd of Rocky Mountain elk. I was enjoying just watching the cows and the calves, but then, off from my right, a nice branch antler bull ran through, and I got a chance to watch him for a little bit. All in all, a pretty fantastic way to begin my second day out there. As I was hiking back down the hillside into the valley where we were camped, I was treated with some views of the entire camp sprawled out across the valley floor, and it was just an incredible sight to behold. It struck me just what an amazing thing it was that over 100 vehicles loaded with people who were all interested in the outdoors had been able to come together in this spot out in the remote backcountry. This spot where prior to this only a handful of people a year ever get to. And I don't know if anyone who was there on that trip at this point really even realized this, but this was one of those truly special spots to me. One of my favorite pieces of country, and a place that prior to this I had only ever brought 2 other people into. But after the day and a half that I'd already spent with this group of people, I realized that there was no better group of people that I would rather share one of my favorite spots with. Right? Who would have ever thought?
What a great turnout.
100 rigs down there.
Is that what it is? How cold did it get last night?
Oh, I bet like 12.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah, man.
Glad I had a free spirit.
Love these tri-layer tents from Free Spirit are awesome when it's cold, huh?
Yeah, I didn't have much trouble. It was,
no.
Yeah, good sleeping bag, tri-layer tent, good to go.
Good times, man.
Yeah.
The sun is out. It was very cold this morning, and now the frost is burning off, and we've got coffee and good people.
Well, Mike, it was great to finally meet you, man.
You too, Casey.
So you came all the way from
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. But you're enjoying the trip?
Awesome trip, awesome experience. I'm learning a lot of history, terrain, and get more confident in getting out there and enjoyable.
Yeah. And in just a second, we're going to show you guys, we might have found a little treasure right in Mike's camp. So we're gonna dig that up and we'll see what it is.
Oh, by the way, Casey, I've
Yeah.
got something
Yes, sir.
here. I know you like coffee sticks in the morning. You know, and then you have the real stuff after.
Oh,
There
that's
you go.
perfect.
48
That's perfect.
sticks. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you,
All right,
sir.
you're welcome.
All right, let's see what we got in the ground
Yeah,
here.
let's
You got a
dig-
shovel handy?
I've got a Chevy. I'll
Okay,
get it off.
grab the shovel. All right, so right here by the front of Mike's truck, we got a piece of iron in the ground here. What is it, buddy?
Might be gold.
We need to put this down at the community area and have some kind of a prize for whoever can figure out what it is.
We'll raffle it off.
Yeah.
There's an inlet right here, outlet right here. Cast.
Could it be, can you imagine it being something part of a windmill? That's what I just
Yeah, the head.
1, 2, 3. All right.
Let's tell everybody, where'd you drive down from?
Skagit County, Cedar Woolley.
Awesome. So how many hours?
8 hours total.
8 hours?
To get to Brothers, yeah.
Uh-huh. But you're enjoying it?
Oh, it's been a good
It was
time.
worth the drive?
Yeah, it's been
all
a
right,
good
that's
time.
the important thing. Man.
Yeah, this is awesome.
All right, so it's Brandon and Natalie.
Yep.
And where'd you guys come down from?
We're from Skagit County as well, Mount
From
Vernon.
Skagit County?
And then
Yeah.
She's from Richland, Tri-City.
Okay,
Tri-Cities.
so you got picked up along the way?
Yeah.
Were you hitchhiking?
No.
Yeah,
I saw
It was a pit stop.
So Phil, where did you drive down from?
I drove down from Kalispell, Montana.
Oh.
I had an overnight in
So you
Spokane.
came over the Rockies?
Yeah, out of the west side of them.
Uh-huh.
But I
Yep.
did when I was in Bozeman. I came over them.
But you enjoyed the trip?
I
and
did.
You're enjoying being out here?
I am very much.
It was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure, man. Hopefully you enjoy the last little bit of the trip.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're
Yeah,
staying
we'll be
warm
good.
enough?
Yeah, trying.
Why didn't
you're all wrong there. Well, it's getting towards the end of the day on the, well, I guess it's day two.
Day two, yeah.
Day two, coming up on night
Yeah.
2. And so for any of you guys that don't know, this is Chad with CK Knife and Tool. He's the maker behind the Coyote Works survival knife, and then now the Coyote, what we're affectionately calling the Coyote Pup. But it's that basic concept, you know, for me the basic idea is like that big knife, that survival knife that's kind of capable of doing a lot of different tasks, but because it's bigger, it's not necessarily ideal for a lot of the smaller camp tasks. So the second knife in the series is smaller, it's small enough to EDC really well.
Yeah. This is something I could definitely see myself using because it's lighter,
right,
easier to carry.
As opposed to the Coyote Works survival
Yeah,
knife and
yeah.
the size and the
Yeah.
weight and everything of
Yep.
it. So I wanted Chad to think that I wanted to come over and spend some time with him, but I heard a rumor he was cooking some carne asada, so I was going to try to loiter until
See how that
was
works?
done.
I thought I might go to the coast. That way.
Mark, what's happening?
What's up?
Charles, what is this, man? What are you feeding me? This stuff's amazing.
I cooked some steak bites with blue cheese crumbled over the top, and
I hope nobody else wanted any.
well, they did, but thanks a lot.
So, you got a YouTube channel, man?
I do. I'm just starting out with, it's called Adventures with Roscoe.
Yeah? And so what kind of content are you doing?
I'm trying to motivate people to just get out and do it. My vehicle is inexpensive, my camper's inexpensive, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Just get out and do it with what you got.
So guys, go check out his channel. He's just getting started, but he's another guy just like us that likes getting out in the sticks and having a good time and clearly cooking some good food, right?
I do like cooking.
All right, one more time, your channel name?
Yeah, ADV with Roscoe.
ADV with Roscoe?
Yep.
Awesome, Charles.
Thank you, Casey. Very nice
Thanks,
meeting
my
you.
friend.
Thanks for putting this on.
The scene.
I got some bread for you.
We got our disco lights going.
I saw that. We're on the other side of the freeway.
So we've got a whole group. How many from Idaho?
There's 6 of us
5 or 6.
here.
Yeah.
6 of us
Six.
here.
Six from
It's the
Idaho.
Idaho crowd right away.
And this is George, and George has got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What's going on with your channel?
Mine's my channel is Southwest Idaho Overlanding. And we basically just travel a lot of southwest Idaho, of course, and then parts of Oregon and Nevada.
But you have kind of an ace in the hole with your channel, and that's your rig.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite overlanding rigs on YouTube.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, it's a 1977 Jeep Cherokee, and I've had it for 20 years. It's pretty much just stock. It's got a 3-inch lip with 133-inch tires, but outside of that, it's stock. So it's a lot of fun, and it does really well out in the backcountry.
So one more time, your channel name?
Southwest Idaho Overlanding.
But I did get a chance to shoot Sarah's rifle, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I tried to talk her out of it, but she wasn't having any of it.
Yeah,
she offered to give me Jamie's rifle.
That's, well, yeah.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm thankful for being able to come out here and meet a lot of great Americans. And the third thing I was thankful for last night was, I was like, if I had not 2 years ago started watching Coyote Works, I wouldn't be here today. But I'm out here living, experiencing, and I've actually gone way out in the desert alone, and I never felt alone. I was happy as could be.
I'll drink to that for
And I'm
sure.
thankful.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, guys. It's just a little bit after 7. Just got back from a morning walk, and I'll finish off my coffee, wander down in camp, and start getting some pictures. It looks like there's a few people starting to move around down there. My first couple of nights in the Free Spirit M55 Adventure Series tent with the tri-layer fabric. I'll do a full review video on this tent sometime in the next week or two once I get a chance to get another couple nights in it.
There you go, Casey, right there. And then there's some cream if you need a spoon. Sure.
By 7 o'clock, some people were already starting to pack up and head out. So I got busy moving around, trying to get a chance to spend every last little bit of time I could with as many people as possible that had made the trip.
Hey, what's happening?
Just heading home, man. Thanks for a great weekend.
Sure. You had fun shooting yesterday?
Oh, it was a blast. It was a blast.
Yeah, right. Well, I appreciated you kind of taking point by virtue of being there and
done it before, and had the steel. So next year we'll maybe make it a little bigger. And
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right. All right, man. Have a safe trip.
We'll be in touch.
Shoot me a message when you land at home.
Sure.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Early in the year, because that water crossing is
Highway issues, mileage issues right now. Start thinking about what ratio you want to go to.
Is that your FJ?
Yeah, it's my FJ. 2012.
It's amazing. It's almost like a Baja.
Look at me. I'm Jamie.
Right?
I got there and they wanted my information.
It's a fake Casey. Yeah.
It was just all a big phishing scam.
Nice.
Gotta get that beauty in there.
I was just coming up to get in line.
A good number of people had headed out of camp pretty early, so by the time mid-morning rolled around, we had a much smaller group left. But in spite of the smaller group, we got everybody's rigs all lined up for one last lineup shot. And then Amanda, bless her heart, she gathered everyone all together in a group so we could take some pictures and share one last little laugh together. Even though at that point we probably had barely over half the original group, it was still an awe-inspiring sight to see all those cool rigs stretched out across that meadow out there. And a short time later, we were back on the trail and headed for home. All right, well, we are almost out to the main gravel road where people will start splitting off.
Copy that. I'm going to pull over and use a bush really quick. Over.
Confirming, Austin is pulling over and using a bush. Coyote Works over. See if I can capture some of this madness. Madness. We made one final stop when we hit the last main gravel road intersection to say our final goodbyes and air up our tires and get ready to hit the pavement.
Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
We had a blast.
You guys enjoyed?
Yes.
Awesome.
You develop a bond with people that you spend time in the remote backcountry with, and I couldn't help but feel just a little bit sad at the thought that many of these people I probably wouldn't see for another year.
How'd she run for you?
Beautiful. A lot of fun.
Coyote 10 now.
Enjoy the trip back. ADV Roscoe?
ADV with Roscoe.
ADV with Roscoe.
Thank you.
Hey, have a safe trip back, man. Jamie?
Casey.
How'd the old Ford do?
Oh, she did awesome. She's brilliant.
Frogman, this is Coyote Works. Do you copy? Frogman, this is Coyote Works. Do you copy? Well, the pilot did all right, huh?
Hey, did fine. Well, you know, I gotta look underneath because there was some a little bit of scraping.
Was there a couple of times you hit bottom?
But yeah, it seems to have done good.
Got her all aired back up?
Got her all back there.
That looks like a med kit.
It's my air all up at once kit.
You got the lines all rigged so you can hook them all up at once and
Air
equalize
up,
the
air
pressure.
down.
And
Yeah, it's.
did you enjoy the trip?
Oh,
Amazing. Thank you.
I got to get the beast of the Ford in the video, right?
Oh yeah. It's old, but it's gonna make it.
Well, how'd the Jeep do?
The Jeep did good, and check out these guys right here.
And this is Creeper and
Creeper,
Sasha.
Creeper's on the left, Gideon is on the right. Those two are brothers on the left. She's 4 years old.
And they did awesome.
Yeah.
They were really good. You good back here?
Oh yeah, I'm all good.
Getting
awesome trip, man.
getting aired up?
Yeah, pretty near in it. Great times, man.
Awesome. Glad you enjoyed.
Man, it's just been a great trip. I've had an awesome time meeting everyone. It's been really cool to see everybody's camps and how everybody has a little bit different approach to it and different gear. I really want to thank Free Spirit Recreation, Lolo Overland, Warfighter Outfitters, Team Overland, Warn, all the different companies that have supported this trip, me, my channel. Man, we had an awesome raffle. Everybody seemed to really enjoy that and won some great stuff. So it was really cool to have that element of it this year, to bring everybody together at one point during the trip all around that community fire. As all you guys know, doing this big group trip has really got me running way past my headlights. It's really far out of my wheelhouse, but man, I have just enjoyed it immensely, and it's been the coolest thing about it has just been meeting so many other people that enjoy doing the same things from all over the country. So I appreciate all of you guys that came along. Really enjoyed getting to hang out with you and share some time around the campfire. And I'm looking forward to doing this thing again next year. So that's about a wrap for this video, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Coyote Works out. And remember, always adventure, my friends. Always adventure.